The 7 stages that you go through when quitting an addiction. Hello, I'm Nicholas with Addiction Freedom. I'm gonna talk to you about the normal path. If we're a normal human being and we're going through that journey to quit an addiction, to change our patterns of behavior, there's generally going to be reoccurring themes that happen to you, that happen to all people. We're all unique, but when we go through the journey to change our patterns of behavior, there's going to be some reoccurring patterns. There's going to be some reoccurring themes, and there's going to be these stages that people go through. I'm going to talk to you about those stages and what you should do at each one. That way, you'll be able to find out, what stage am I even in? Um, is there any hope for me? Will I ever quit? And yes, the answer is you will quit if you stay on the journey. I promise you will quit. I'm going to show you how to accelerate the whole process. When you're battling an addiction, it's very frustrating and you get really confused. Who am I? If I want to quit, why can't I quit? You can hold down a job, you can make money, you can have relationships, you can understand complex things in life. You have this magnificent brain. So if you have all of this power and magnificence, why can't you just quit an addiction? Like what's that all about? And the reason is the subconscious mind is extremely powerful, and that's where your addiction is being held. If you try to quit an addiction, it could take you months and years to quit, and you could be trapped for the rest of your life in that addiction and never get out. If you only ever wish to quit one day, if you just think about quitting one day, if you're hoping to quit one day, if you're doing these 3 things, the chances that you're going to be in that same addiction for months and years for the rest of your life are very high. You're probably going to be stuck for the rest of your life if you're just doing these 3 things. So the secret, the key, what I teach is to stop doing these 3 things and instead find a routine that resonates with you, an actual routine that you can do every day. You can accelerate the quit to about 4 to 12 months. So instead of it taking you years to quit, you can actually quit in about 4 to 12 months. This is what I'm finding from the people I'm helping and from my own life. It is that simple. And how do you do that? How do you accelerate the timeline and get out of the addiction quick? Well, you got to go through 3 things. You got to eventually make the decision to stop fighting with yourself and stop forcing yourself to quit. There's no such thing as cold turkey. Nobody quits cold turkey. You only quit when your mind is ready. So stop fighting with yourself and just work on making your subconscious mind ready. That takes time. How do you do that? Well, you have to first accept that it is the subconscious mind. Yes, you're a conscious individual, and yes, you're magnificent. You have this wonderful brain and creativity and imagination, but you also have a subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind doesn't care about any of that, and it's extremely powerful. So realize that it's the subconscious mind that's holding on to the addiction. That's why you consciously decide to stop doing something, but the addictive thoughts and compulsive urges keep coming back and fighting with you. They're coming from the subconscious mind. And you can change the subconscious mind with a little bit of repetition and a little bit of structure. What structure am I talking about? You need to have a daily ritual or a practice or a habit or a routine that you do every day. And this routine needs to involve articulation and reflection for about 5 to 10 minutes. You need to be articulating either through writing down on paper, or you need to be articulating through your speech. And then you need to be reflecting on the things that you have written and the things that you have said. And you need to do this every single day, literally every day. It only takes 5 to 10 minutes, but if you do this every day, the impact, when you first begin, the impact is small. But then after a week, the impact starts getting a little bit bigger. And then after you've been doing this for months, the impact has gotten so powerful that it will start to spiral you out of the addiction, just like you spiraled yourself into the addiction. Something that you repeat often, something that you have an emotional investment in, and something that you think about doing again in the future, those are the things that influence your subconscious mind the most, and those are the things that start to build this momentum to get you either into an addiction or get you out of an addiction. It changes the way your subconscious mind holds on to things. And remember, your subconscious mind is extremely powerful. So if you find something that you repeat often, if you find something that you have emotional investment in that makes you feel good or bad, makes you feel any type of way, emotional investment, and you find something that you think about doing again in the future, that's going to immediately impact your subconscious mind and start to build momentum. Do you see why your addiction has so much power over you? Your addiction was something that you repeated often. Your addiction is something that makes you emotionally feel something, whether it's good or bad. And your addiction is something that you think about doing again in the future, even though you might not realize it. You think about doing it again. That's projecting into the future. That's imagination pulling you towards something in the future. And that's why it has a lot of momentum and power as well. So here's the addiction. If you don't do anything and you just sit with the addiction for weeks, months, years, eventually you're going to sink into the addiction and you won't even be able to move. You'll be stuck. Okay? This happens to all people. I'm not trying to scare you, but I am trying to make a sense of urgency appear in your mind, because you do need to start moving. Because otherwise, here you are now. You can move, you can build momentum. But if you don't do anything, you will submerge into the addiction. You'll get trapped, and 10, 15, 20 years later, you're still going to be stuck. What do you do to build momentum? Okay, what do you do? And eventually you can build so much momentum that you actually leave the addiction behind and you escape the addiction. Those things to build momentum require repetition, imagination, and time. The conscious imagination comes from the routine that I teach. The repetition comes from establishing that you're going to do this every day, even if it's for 5 to 10 minutes. And then time, self-explanatory. It takes time to change the subconscious mind. You have to go through this cycle every single day for months, weeks, depends who you are, and eventually you'll build momentum. Your subconscious mind will change and you will fall away from the addiction, or rather the addiction will fall away from you. Now, we're going to talk about the last part of this episode, this video, which is the phases. Remember I said there is generally about 7 stages, 7 phases that people go through when quitting. And here they are. Stage 1. You choose to see the behavior as a true problem. You choose to accept that the suffering you're experiencing is coming from this way of living. This is the first most important step. And there's people out there that they have an addiction, but it's not even a problem to them yet. They haven't decided that it's a problem. They haven't accepted that the suffering they're experiencing is coming from their pattern of behavior. So they're not even at stage 1 yet. Okay, they're at stage 0. So if you've made it here, you've made it to stage 1, which is you choose to see the behavior as the true problem. You have made the decision. You've accepted that, yes, this suffering I'm experiencing is coming from this way of living. Stage 2, you fight with yourself. You try to control yourself in an attempt to quit and change. This is the most dangerous phase. Why is it the most dangerous phase? Because if you fight with yourself and try to force yourself to quit, you're only making things worse, and it's literally going to ruin your chances of quitting. Do not fight with yourself. Don't try to control yourself. Realize that it's the subconscious mind that's holding on to the addiction, and you can change the subconscious mind. Don't try to fight it or force it. That's not going to help anything. It's going to hurt you. Third phase, third stage. You accept that you are not ready to quit yet. This is a big relief, okay? Yeah, you might be struggling. I was. We all are. We're humans, right? But when I was going through my addiction, when I was trying to quit, I realized this was the most powerful realization I ever had. I realized that I really wasn't ready, okay? I was thinking that I was ready and that there was just something wrong with me. No, that's not true. I just wasn't ready. There's nothing wrong with you, okay? You're just not ready to quit yet. Your subconscious mind needs to be changed. It needs to be massaged. You need to go through a routine for a few months, and then you will be ready, okay? So don't try to force yourself to be ready, and don't try to think that you are ready. Just say to yourself, I'm not ready to quit yet, but I'm not going to stop until I am ready. Stage 4, you refocus your attention within. You ask not, how can I quit? Nor do you ask, why can't I quit? But instead, you start to believe that you can quit. And it's a changing process that you must embrace. You start to believe that it really is your subconscious mind that isn't ready, but it can be, and you can change it. 5th stage, you begin to reshape how you see yourself and the addiction. This comes from the routine that I teach, which we're about to talk about. This comes from changing your self-image. This comes from writing down on paper the person I intend to become, and then you keep writing. The person I intend to become, the person I intend. It doesn't have to be negative or positive. It's just writing about the person you intend to become and thinking about that stuff on a regular basis. The sixth stage is you stop trying to quit today. You stop trying to quit this week. You stop setting limits. You stop setting expectations. You stop fighting with yourself. You start to smile and laugh at the addiction because you know you're going to quit eventually. You know you're going to free yourself. You know you're going to change your subconscious mind. You know you're not going to stop doing the routine until you change and get free. And that is the relief. The true relief comes from when you stop fighting with yourself. You stop trying to quit at some point in the future. You just start living now and doing the routine now. Even if you're still dealing with the addiction, that's fine. Just don't fight with yourself. Don't set a deadline. You just stop fighting. And the final stage, the quit actually happens. Why does the quit happen? Because both your self-image and your dominating thoughts about the behavior changed. You change your dominating thoughts about the addiction by going through the routine. You change your self-image by going through the routine. The quit happens because both of these things change, self-image and dominating thoughts. It is the changing of both of these that liberates a person from a pattern of behavior that is destroying their life and mental health. It's also the alignment of the three majors. What are the three majors? What you reflect on and pay attention to, what you repeatedly do, and what you imagine doing again in the future. When all three of these things are in alignment towards a goal or a definite vision, you build momentum towards that. If they're out of alignment, you're not building momentum at all. You're not doing really much at all. It's just going to be chaos. And finally, the routine itself. What is the routine that I teach? Why does it work? It's called the 533 routine for a reason. The first section of this routine, you sit down for 5 minutes and you write or speak if you want to record your voice, but you write about the way you intend to live in any aspect of your life. Not just the addiction, any aspect of your life. And normally this is done by writing every sentence with the person I intend to become, TPIITB, and then you just follow that sentence and you let whatever comes out of your mind flow onto the page. If you just start a sentence with the person I intend to become, something is going to trail from your creativity and your imagination, and you'll be able to finish the sentence. Don't try to force it, just let it flow out of you. This first section of the routine works on your vision, it works on your imagination, and it repairs your self-image. The middle phase, the 3, is for 3 minutes. You're writing, again, or speaking, about the reasons why you want to quit. And I generally teach to write these things in doubles. You write a sentence twice. And every sentence begins with the word because. Repetition, emotion, and awareness is where these things play a role in this phase of the routine. Every sentence would be like this. Imagine you have an addiction to nicotine or smoking. Then at this phase, you would be writing every sentence and starting with the word because I'm tired of wasting money on cigarettes and it makes me feel horrible. Because I'm tired of wasting money on cigarettes and it makes me feel horrible. You're writing every sentence twice, and every sentence begins with the word because. And then the final phase of the 533 routine is you reflect on the past 3 days of your writings. So you've been writing down stuff for 3 days, right? So now you've got a trailing awareness in your journal, or maybe you've been recording your voice with your phone or something. You've got 3 days of material. So you just take about 3 minutes, take 3 to 5 minutes, and just listen or reread what you've written down, or listen to what you've recorded. That's the reflection part. This does a bunch of things for you, but it's very powerful emotionally, and you will see what it does to you after you've done it a few times, a week, 2, 3 weeks. You will see what it does. So with that being said, that was the 7 stages that you can expect to go through, and you should know which stage you're on now. You should totally know where you are now, just to help you get through it and move to the next. And with all that being said, I hope you do the 533 routine. I hope you take this and make your own routine. You don't have to do it exactly like this. And yeah, keep your chin up, keep doing it. I know you're going to get through the addiction. You're going to get through. You're going to change. It's only a matter of time. With that much being said, my name was Nicholas with Addiction Freedom. I hope you have a good one. Take care now.